Her name is Isabella Monroe, 23 years old, soft-spoken, observant, and incredibly driven. She wasn't the loudest person in the room, but she was always the one doing the most work behind the scenes. Isabella grew up in a suburban home where love didn't feel equal. Her parents, David and Karen Monroe, revolved their lives around her younger brother, Ryan Monroe. Ryan was charismatic, athletic, and constantly praised. Isabella, she was the one who stayed up until 2 a.m. studying, the one who earned scholarships, the one who sacrificed quietly. But in her family, effort didn't matter. Attention did, and she never had it. Still, she believed one thing for years. One day they'll finally see me. She just didn't know that the day she needed them the most would be the day they proved they never would. Graduation day arrived like a dream Isabella had rehearsed her entire life. She stood backstage in her black gown, fingers nervously tracing the edge of her diploma folder. The air was filled with excitement. Students laughing, parents cheering from the crowd, camera flashes everywhere. But Isabella wasn't focused on any of that. Her eyes kept drifting toward the audience, searching, row after row, face after face, but not the ones she needed. Her parents' seats were empty. She checked her phone again. No messages. No, we're on the way. No explanation. Just silence. A strange, heavy silence that started to settle in her chest. Maybe they're late, she whispered to herself. She held on to that thought like it was the only thing keeping her steady. Then the ceremony began. Names were called. Students walked across the stage to loud cheers and proud families. Some parents stood up. Some cried. Some shouted their child's name. Then came hers, Isabella Monroe. For a brief second, she froze. Then she walked, step by step, smile on her face. But her eyes, they still searched, still hoped, still waited. Nothing, just polite applause from strangers. She accepted her diploma, shook hands, turned, and walked off the stage with something breaking quietly inside her. Outside, after the ceremony, she stood alone near the exit. Graduates were surrounded by hugs, flowers, laughter. She stood there holding her diploma like it weighed more than it should. Then her phone buzzed. Finally, her heart jumped. She opened the message instantly. From her mother. "Sweetheart, we're so sorry. Ryan had a championship game today. We couldn't miss it. We'll celebrate yours later, Red Heart." Isabella read it once. Then again. Her fingers slowly tightened around her phone. Her brother's game. That was their reason. That was their choice. Not traffic. Not an emergency. Not something unavoidable. A decision. They chose him. Again. She looked around at the families celebrating. Then back at her empty hands. No flowers. No hugs. No one. And in that moment, something inside her didn't shatter loudly. It went quiet, dangerously quiet. That night, she didn't cry, didn't call, didn't confront anyone. She sat on her bed, still in her graduation gown, staring at nothing, and made a decision. A real one this time. She would stop waiting to be chosen. Backhand index pointing, right, but what Isabella did next would make that moment unforgettable for them. The next morning, Isabella packed her things. Not dramatically, not angrily, just calmly, like someone who had finally understood something important. She folded her clothes, packed her books, closed the chapter of her life that had been built around people who never showed up. She sent a simple message in the family group chat. "I accepted a job offer. I'm moving next week." Minutes passed, then hours. No reply. By evening, her mother finally responded. "That's nice. Don't forget to call sometimes." That was it. No excitement. No pride. No questions. It was almost expected. And, strangely, that hurt less than before. Because Isabella wasn't hoping anymore. She moved to a new city. Small apartment. Quiet neighborhood. no distractions. For the first time in her life, she wasn't living for anyone else. Her job was demanding, long hours, high expectations. But for once, her effort mattered. Her ideas were heard. Her work was recognized. She stayed late at the office, not because she had to, but because she finally felt seen. Weeks turned into months. Her confidence grew. Her voice became stronger. She wasn't the girl waiting in the background anymore. She was building something, a life, a future, an identity that had nothing to do with being the overlooked daughter. Meanwhile, back home, nothing changed. Her parents still revolved around Ryan, his games, his plans, his life. And because Isabella stopped reaching out, they didn't realize she had stopped needing them. Backhand index pointing right. But 6 months later, something would make them finally notice her absence. 6 months changed Isabella completely. Not just her circumstances. Her presence. Her energy. Her confidence. She walked differently now. Spoke differently. Thought differently. At work, she quickly became known as someone reliable, sharp, and innovative. Her manager trusted her. Her team respected her. And for the first time in her life, people celebrated her wins. Small ones, big ones, all of them. Meanwhile, back home, things weren't going as expected. Ryan wasn't performing like before. Missed opportunities, bad decisions. His guaranteed success started slipping. And suddenly, the house felt quieter, less exciting, less certain. One evening, her mother asked casually, "Has anyone talked to Isabella recently?" Silence. Her father frowned slightly. "I think she's busy." Ryan shrugged. "I don't know. She stopped texting." That's when something uncomfortable settled in the room, because it wasn't just that Isabella was quiet. She was gone, emotionally, completely, and for the first time, they realized something strange. They didn't know anything about her life anymore. Backhand index pointing right, and just when that realization started to grow, Isabella sent something that changed everything. It came without warning. No introduction. No explanation. Just a notification. Isabella Monroe. Her mother opened it immediately. And there it was. A photo. Isabella standing in a modern office. Dressed sharply. Confident. Composed. Behind her, a breathtaking city skyline through glass walls. And on the desk in front of her, a nameplate. Isabella Monroe, Strategic Operations Lead. The room went silent. Her father leaned forward slowly. Ryan stopped scrolling his phone. Her mother's eyes stayed fixed on the screen, because this wasn't the girl they remembered. This wasn't the quiet daughter in the background. This was someone else. Someone successful. Someone respected. And then they noticed something else. In the background, a group of coworkers smiling, clapping, celebrating her. Proud of her. The kind of moment they never gave her. No caption, no message, just the photo. And somehow, that silence said everything. Backhand index pointing right. But what that photo did to them mattered more than anything Isabella could have said. That single photo stayed in their minds for days, because it didn't accuse them, didn't blame them, didn't ask for anything. It simply showed them the truth. They missed her, not just her graduation, her growth, her success, her life. Her mother tried calling. No answer. Her father sent a message. "We're proud of you." But even he knew, those words came too late. Ryan looked at the photo again, and for the first time, he understood something clearly. Isabella didn't fall behind. She moved ahead, without them. And Isabella, she saw their messages, read them, then placed her phone down gently. Not angry, not emotional, just peaceful, because she finally understood something powerful. You don't need to be seen by the wrong people to become someone great. And sometimes the most powerful revenge is a quiet success that speaks for itself.